Congratulations, sir, for once again topping yet another entrance exam. You have stood fourth in the recently concluded September CMAT examination. What would be your advice for students appearing for the February CMAT exam?
If you look at the CMAT pattern that has come in the last 2 times, the mathematics section has been the easiest of the 4 sections. Do I understand there are a few people who find mathematics tough, but I think that is one section where you can really score well. That means people who are really weak at mathematics should ensure that they practice a lot of mathematics, and people who are good should consolidate the same. I think a minimum score of 70 to 80 marks in maths is what is must, depending on the colleges that you target. And once you score that much marks in mathematics, I mean your focus or your dependency on the other section reduces. Logic, if you look at it, was a little lengthy. Not that it was tough, it was lengthy. It was based on the CET type questions that came in the past. So a practice of CET type logic questions would help people familiarize with the logic question and crack the question. Again, scoring a 70 odd marks in logic should also not be difficult. Comparatively easy. There are 2 sections which I believe in CMAT are quite scoring, and practice will help you perform better. 3rd section, verbal. The verbal section in CMAT is quite different from the other exams. In that case, there is more focus on critical reasoning than anything else. Strengthening, weakening, summarization. So it makes sense for people to focus more on these areas. I mean, there were more than half the questions in the CMAT this year were passive based questions. So it made sense that if you focus on these areas, automatically you can really improve on your verbal scores. Verbal made a lot of difference in this examination. If you really score well in verbal, your rank could shoot up. For people who are aiming to get into Bajaj, I think they should be among the high scorers in verbal. Coming to GK, which has been a nemesis for a lot of people in this exam. But if you look at the kind of questions that came in the exam, they were mainly from the Manorama yearbook. So people who are really targeting CMAT should start practicing GK from right now. Look at the type of question that came in, can pick up a Manorama yearbook and practice a lot. I can assure you that their scores in GK will improve drastically just by practicing Manorama yearbook.
Now that the results of the CMAT examination are out, what should be the future course of students in the coming days?
I categorize the students into 2 parts. For people who have not scored well, I believe they should focus on this February CMAT and ensure that they score better marks. For students who scored well, I think it's right time to start for GDPR. There are quite a few colleges which start accepting forms right now. Goa Institute of Management, IMT, others, etc. Where they can apply. And for that, GDPR practice would help from right now. Also, even if you plan to give February CMAT examination, GDPR practice from right now could help them build a base for the future colleges. So it's always good to have backup options with respect to colleges. So apply to a number of colleges and ensure that they secure a seat somewhere. Coming to GDPR, yes, the practice of GDPR becomes extremely important, and we have seen a lot of students who have scored less marks in GDPR and more marks in GDPR. If you look at CET pattern, there were 34 marks in GDPR, and there were students who have scored less than 20 out of 34. And we know students who have scored 34 and 34. This difference of marks makes a huge difference with your final selection. So that means the preparation for GDPR becomes important. Now I have been a panelist for CET GDPR with a DTE in the past. And I realized that a thorough practice and a proper practice will help to score maximum marks. I have trained students in the last so many years, and every year we have had students who have scored 34 and 34. So what's important is building content for your GDPR and a regular practice that will help to ace the GDPR part. Even if you are a top ranker, don't be complacent, because we've seen top rankers also fumbling with respect to GDPR. So focus and prepare. That will be the key area for the future.